me tell you who called me.
Who's that?
Yeah, Onyan really called me just now.
Oh, that was Onyan.
Yeah.
You should have told me you talking to me. Yeah, man. Onyan, I just saw him last night performing on one of them live virtual thing. You know, he's just performing with his guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, but you know, what I really wanted to get to before, you know, this whole interview is ended is your beginnings as to how you develop your skill as a drummer. You know, how you started and stuff like that.
Started. Let me tell you where we I started. I started playing when I was about 8 or 9 now.
Really?
Right? Yeah, man. I used to. Let me tell you something. My uncle was a drummer now.
Okay.
My uncle was a drummer. That's how I started. My uncle, he playing a steel band. He been playing a steel band. Up to now, he's still playing a steel band.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, it just that night, okay, I see it and I said, go try. I started from a young age, and then when I was 14, I started playing in Hell's Gate Steel Band, which is the steel band right now, is the reigning Panorama champs in Antigua.
Right, I know about Hell's Gate, yeah, I know about them. Mm-hmm.
Right, that's where I started.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and when I got there, I played there from, I was 14 to 19. And I was playing with them. And the standards, I learned the standards playing with the steel band.
Okay.
And when I transitioned into the soca band, I started playing a Calypso 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I started improving in terms of playing.
Okay.
You know, the different genre of music, because I got the Calypso now. And Calypso is a totally different thing as opposed to soca.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you got in a Calypso 10, you have to know how to keep the timing steady.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, it's like a clock going. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that for years. Then I started playing with that band there that used to play in it. The guy that was playing. He, after, Carnival, we would go and play in the hotel still. So, little thing. I think that I moved up. Then I went up, I was in the States for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And LA Crew. I don't know if you ever heard of LA Crew.
Yeah, oh, you used to play with LA Crew?
Yeah, man. I'm the drummer that really think that band.
Okay.
And the first album, so the actual first album that was done, it was done by us, the players. That time we were young,
Mm-hmm.
but I was the one that was doing the creating in terms of the rhythms and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, and back and forth. I do my thing, but still learning them times. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then now I got to and I ended up having to play for Soca Monarch in Antigua. So for a few years I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, boy, that's a little bit much for me, so I just kind of left it alone after a bit.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
But the
Carnival time was real bit.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
No, I was gonna ask you.
Carnival time was real bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Carnival time.
Mm.
In those times, those years was really real crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember you're playing for March too. You're doing the Stoke Monarch. You're still playing for Fets and stuff, and you're still playing on the road. And you play on the road now. It's 7 and 8 hours straight now. It's like a whole working, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know stopping now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man could have a silent thing. You know, when you get a break, it's when you reach to the Carnival village. You know what I mean? And the truck will wait until the marshal come off the stage, and we go back down in town and play again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Boy,
Sometimes, man.
you talking about the early the 80s?
90s, all the way up to 2000, so we were doing that still.
Mm-hmm. Boy, let me tell you, I remember one year. I don't know. It was Onion Burning Flames. That was 2004. I never forget that. Red International, was just launching their band. Okay, Red International was well based in Trinidad, but then they basically morphed in Saint Lucia. And
Yeah.
for their first year, they brought down Onion and Burning Flames. And I remember seeing you boy on that drums, no shirt on, and it's just you, Crocus and Onion on the truck. I can never forget that, yo. Let me tell you, I was young, I was a teenager, 2004. And y'all fellas around the circuit, and the same uncle I was telling you today, I went by his house. That man and his wife to be at the time was just following the truck and just watching you play. That just gave me goosebumps because I remember being among the crowd and just standing up there and I say, boy, one day I want to do that. I say one day I just want to play on the truck.
That's not an easy thing now. It's all well and good to say what it is. One of the most difficult thing, right? And a lot of people don't understand. I've gone to church and I see band on a truck, and the man have a DJ, them band taking break. There's no break about that. When we playing, when you break is when you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm telling you?
Boy.
Okay.
I know.
Always on when we start 4 o'clock in the morning for Juve, right? And when we stop at 12 o'clock. Here what happened? Here the reason why we stop at 12 o'clock, because we have to go back to play for the mass troop for 1 o'clock. Wow. So we stop at 12, we go home, you know what I mean, get a little fresh up and you're gone back. And you play for the man, you're leaving the parade starts at 2 o'clock because people tired from Juve. The parade starts at 2 o'clock, 2:30. And you play till in the night.
Yeah, that's the thing. But y'all don't have time from Juve to take any...
5:36 o'clock. Here what happens now? Sometimes you're supposed to go, because what happens now, they would try to have a jam the Monday night, but people are so tired, people never really go out to play, so here what happens now. So when you're done that Monday night, you go home and you sleep, you get a good night, take a good shower, and you get a good rest. Tuesday, you're back on the road for 1 o'clock.
Why? That's
right?
not easy.
And when you start to play, you ain't taking a break until when the truck reach the carnival city. And sometimes you reach up there 5 o'clock. And the truck hang out until they call it who win road march and when you're done with that, you're back in town until 1 o'clock in the night.
Why? So I guess
1 a.m. again.
I guess that's what make you a strong drummer in terms of like you can play all of these things. But you see, I know that. But I mean, what influence did the Burning Flames drumming have towards your drumming? Because now when you come in Onion band now, being that Onion now separate from Burning Flames, you have Fox.
Well, let me tell you. Fox has a different style of playing to me, and if you can tell naturally, but that's because of how I was raised. The style that they use, right? That for me is limited, right? So what I did, I took his basic stuff, and then over the years I realized the style of playing was changing, right? Because years coming up. Remember at one point the songs that were coming with the Barbie, they didn't have any rhythm and stuff. Like the Alice in the Irons era and so.
Right.
The band, they were using percussionists, but the band don't have no rhythm to carry to give it a drive. So that being said within itself, that's another thing they have together. So but our songs has to have a rhythm. So what they were relying on now, because of that, the drummer has to do way more than he need to play the song. But over the years now, they start using gospel chops along with what's going on. Right. But that's a little bit much sometimes because of the style. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I noticed what was going on, but I still stayed within my realm. But I just take some of the chops, right? because and place them within what I was doing, but I can't use all of them because of what I'm doing and how we're playing.
Right.
When we play as 3-cylinder, it's just the three of us.
Mm.
And that's a totally different, because we don't want to play that way. We only do we not only play the snooker thing, right? We play a little bit of reggae, we play a lot of rock songs. We play like Rosanna and so on, Roxanne and so on, from Sting and stuff. We don't. So now, and the little bit of rock and roll from Elvis Presley and so. So is that totally different thing, right? Now here comes the situation. Is that anybody can fit in with playing with him, right? When it comes to that, and that was the reason the guy asked me, wait, you know what? You all know what Onyan was going to play before you play. I said no, I don't even know he's going.
Yeah,
right.
But you see,
but
the next
we have that communication. After playing so long, you have to understand. You get to understand, well, hey, you get to understand this person. So, you become one, if you understand what I'm saying. It's not just he's playing, yes. But he now understand, we have to, all of us has to be working as a unit, right? For everything to run smooth. If it's not working that way, it's not going to function.
Right, exactly.
So he can't be over there by himself. So when we playing, we know if there's a particular way he might strum, he might hold his cards, and by him doing that, we know, hey, he going this way.
Right. You
understand?
Right. Exactly.
There's a little bit of understanding there. Hey, we don't have to see, we only have to hear.
Yeah, just hear it. But you see, the thing is too, I want to go back to the influence as well, because now you say that not dissing Fox in any way, but I understand what you're saying totally, that it was limited to you growing up, that based on the way you were raised, that you find that you had to do a little bit more than what you were doing. So my thing is,
what happens, right? Hold on, let me tell you. My uncle, right, was playing in a band by the name of Hammer International, right? And, you know, while he was here in Antigua, I would go by the band house and so on, and he showed me some stuff and so on. But, because of that was, with the way how that band was playing, it was a bit different than how, you know, so Fox come up with this thing. But for me, I was already being pushed in a different direction, if you understand what I'm saying. Because he was playing a lot of different stuff before. So obviously, to come, you know, he showed me some stuff. But then he ended up leaving, right? He went on a cruise, he was playing on a cruise ship and so on for a minute. So now, I got to school, and me get some guys, and we start up steel band in the school. Nice. So I was still playing all the years, and that's how come I ended up going to the steel band to have get to play. Right? The person that showed me how to play, simple, passing over beat. Right? That individual says to me, come, let me show you. You little boy, you know, they come back. Say, me not a drummer now. He said, me not a drummer, but, you know, come, at least they can show you. And the man took his time with me and showed me how to play all them things. He showed me, and it's okay. This is how you do it, but you know how you think, so you have to work it out yourself. No problem. And if you figure that I'm going, you say, okay, you get it, but you have to, you know what I mean? And this is where I learn my stuff.
Right.
The hard way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. From the older generation of drummers.
Listen to things and improve on my stuff, you know? Even there.
Yeah.
You know? But that, man.
Yeah, man. You see, I mean, your style is underrated as far as I see it as a drummer, because what you play on the drums, as opposed to what other soca drummers play, they take a lot of energy to play what they're doing. a lot of energy, and you just relax. Because I remember, case in point, when you came to St. Lucia with Onyan again. I think that was about 6 years or 7 years ago, something about that. About 2012 it was. And I was playing with this band just for fun, right? And boy, the other drummer, ironically, his name is Gregory. He's a young fella that was playing, and yeah, he's a young drummer. He was younger fella. He was playing drums as well on the float with y'all. And when you stepped on the drums, which was like right in the circle of Castries, when we just get to the roundabout in the Castries there by the market, and I remember watching you go and sit down on the drums, and he was watching you play, and he just become mesmerized when I see the expression on his face, and he say, "Why? You ain't gonna hear it because the music is loud, but you could see the expression on his face." And I say,
let me give you a joke.
Yeah.
And this is all figuring out. You don't fight it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some people play drums like if they fight it. They're fighting with the drum. You understand?
Yeah.
And if just make love to it.
Yeah, man.
Just make love. They're making love to the drum, and the drum and you become one. These times where you don't have to apply yourself too much to the licks, right? When I say don't have to play forcefully,
right.
You could be playing now on a simple lick, but you exert yourself just to make that simple lick, and it's not, it's not crazy, and that's how it is. And by you as exerting yourself to play that lick, right? You're burning energy, ain't it?
Exactly.
That simply means for you to endure 6 or 7 hours of playing straight, it's not gonna happen because you burn yourself out.
No, but M16, where I go stop you there? Where I go stop you is the skill level of certain drummers. You see the way they learn, because like you mentioned gospel chops before, that's a big example of a lot of drummers wanting to play the gospel chops, and this is where they apply a lot of force when they're trying to play something simple as calypso or soca on a truck or something for carnival, or something that is like fast paced BPM that is 160 or something like that. And them fellas they're sweating when they play in the fields. But when I look at you just use your wrists and your fingers, and you don't exert nothing. You don't exert no energy. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I watch you on another recording that I posted on my YouTube channel. I one of them I asked you to post it. You said you can do it. I posted it, and I look at that video and I say, but he ain't doing nothing. I mean, he's just relaxed, and he's just using his wrist and his hand, and it's just that he know how to hit the tom, and that's where I have to stop you, because a lot of them just do that.
I watch something and the man says, okay, I'm going to show you something. And I'm saying, okay, I'll watch it to see what he's doing. And I say, he's striking the snare, right? He says, strike the snare, dead center. What do you get? So, okay, I watch it and see what's going on. He said, I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to strike the snare, same position, but this time, you're hitting the outer edge and the center at the same time. Right? Now, you're getting a snap, right? You're getting a snap, yes, no. But you're also getting a punch at the same time. Why?
Right.
Because you're striking the snare, but you're not striking the striker. So you're really not pointing. So one, it sounds like I'm literally playing the snare hard, but I'm not. It's just where I'm striking the snare. Right? And you get that bright, crisp sound. Okay. And I'm figuring that's when a man sound. The man say, but how you play that all the time? It's okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. That's what I was explaining to you. A lot of these drummers don't have that technicality. They don't have the dexterity to play it like that. But you just have that simplicity. But what influenced that? Because then again, it's all about technique, because you see, just like how we were raised as kids and we become disciplined because our parents were strict. It's just like when we learning drums or any instrument. If you develop a thing where you're not sitting properly, for instance, or you're not holding your stick properly, and you've been playing for years and you have that same habit of not holding the stick right, not sitting right at the drums, then your between your thumb and your index finger is hurting because you're not holding the stick properly. A lot of that, even for myself, learning drums, have become a problem for me where I did not learn to do it right the first time. But it looked like as if when you learn drums, you learned it like the very exact correct way how to do it. And what influenced that? No, what influenced?
I was about to tell you. Let me tell you, like I said, my uncle was a drummer, right? And all I know, I started at a very young age. I see the drum, they'll send me to the shop, and I have to go in the band and get my little playing first before me go home, right? So that's how I learned. Okay, but he because he was playing the band, and so he think he just carry me along certain places, because some places I was still I can't go, right? And okay, so his drum kit is set up in a particular manner, right? So I have to learn to play that way. So the way how the drum was positioned, it's basically the same way he used to play, right? What I realize now, I don't slouch on the drums like some people,
right?
Your
sitting is very upright.
It's positioning, upright, right? I realize I don't, and that way at one point I was realizing that the swing, I don't have the swing, so I was more dominant on the right side as opposed to my left side, and I started learning to play with my left side. It's still weak, but so I make fills with my left sometimes instead of my right. And you learn to gradually the flow, like a tabletop, come around left or right and swing. I mean, all them things eventually they come into play. You just have to figure them out. Right. For me, I used to put the stick tight until I burn my fingers down. All them things, but I didn't know any better at the time. Right. Gradually, I figured out, okay, just back off of holding the sticks in them tight, too tight.
Now,
all them things.
I'm sure that there's some drummers that influence you in terms of that. So, which ones you can mention? Whether it's international.
Believe it or not, Pat. If I tell you anybody from me, I'll be lying. I didn't know any better, and over time, I just figured it out myself.
Really?
There's one time, how long I tell you? Yeah. There was one time I was playing, right? And I played, and when I was done, I had callus on the left hand and the right hand. Mind you, I have to go play tomorrow. So I will be playing with my fingers in them taped up.
Wow.
Right? Okay. Over time, you realize, okay, it's just a simple situation where you're gripping it, the sticks too tight. Right? And because you're doing that, you're burning your fingers. So after a while, I figured out, it's just a simple matter, like I say, relaxing and holding on. No, the reason why you're gripping the sticks tight also is because you're not feeling what you're supposed to feel. So because of that, you're tense, right?
Yes.
So you're holding the sticks even tighter because now you're trying to put more force into the drum kit because of that. But when you can hear what you're playing and feel what you're playing, you can play for days.
Right.
So you know what I used to do? I figured out that. And I have speakers I put up, and I put them in a surround sound setting for me. And when I sit down in that seat, it's like heaven.
Yeah.
Right? A friend of mine, he come by, we playing. So I had to go, use the bathroom. So I tell him, meeting man. When the man sitting in the drum kit, and the drum down, the man said, "What? Boy! What is you are there?" I said, you get it now. You feeling the kick. You hearing the bass. Hearing everything. Even drop a pin in between, you hear that.
Wow. It was tight.
No, for real. Everything right, man. Everything right. The song was right. There were two speakers, one on the left and one on the right, and the sub in the back of me, right? And you hear them things. You kick the bass drum, you feel that sub like you want to take you off the seat.
Right.
All them things help.
So what about I mean, even some of the Burning Flames tracks and growing up, you know, coming into that, what was that experience like? You know?
Let me give you a joke. Me and them guys, right? I used to be the neighbor now.
Okay.
I used to be the neighbor. No. When I say neighbor, I mean literally. My house was in the back of theirs.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't even know if it's 200 feet or 300 feet. It was that close. Right? But me being a young, when I met, my uncle used to play in the same band that my uncle used to play drums in. My uncle was playing bass then.
Right.
Right? So you see the connection.
Which band was that?
So you see, Hammer International.
So, okay, Uncle used to play with the steel band too?
No, Hammer International is a brass band.
Oh, a brass band, okay. Right, okay, so that was the same band that was backing up Arrow, because I remember seeing videos on that.
Right.
Yes,
right.
Okay.
They were backing up Arrow, and he was playing drums on, and then, you know, when them guys started, Uncle started playing keyboards and stuff. Hey, like a boy, was be close by, but I wasn't that young to say, okay, I didn't understand what's going on. You know, maybe probably about 13, 14, somewhere around there, maybe. You know, so coming up, when them guys are right behind me up the, you know, just the street there. So it's not like, okay, I had to come from another village to, you know, maybe see them now. It was right. Remember, I was done in the music already, so it was like, just to sponge your way them. When them guys are rehearse up the street, I will be up the street. Everybody in the village, man, I go up, they can hang out, man. The man rehearse like a ritual now. Yeah, man. I said to be in the house and rehearse. Yeah.
Why?
By the time when the band start rehearse now, you don't know where crowd come from now.
Jeez.
Man start to rehearse. Yeah, man, you know people come from this way. God. You know?
They love Burning Flames so much. It was like an injection.
Boy.
Wow.
The man the people that dance out there, you know.
So then through your uncle. Huh?
The man set up the road, the man set up by the house, and then we rehearse the people out there to dance. It's a joke thing. It's a serious thing. You know?
Wow.
Yes, man.
So it was through your uncle technique and him being, your house being that close, and then him playing actually with the same band that uncle was playing, and then I guess you was going along with your uncle, that really kind of inspire you.
Some areas, yeah. No, man. No, here. That was already in me. Remember how small I tell you was when I started to fool over the drums now? When I started fooling on drums now, we couldn't reach the pedal and sit down on the seat now. You're one of them there, yeah, man. Like a boy, man. Really like a boy, you know? You know, some people get the call in early, some people get it late. You know? I had the call in from early.
Right. You know what I mean? Boy, let me tell you, it's something, because I mean the technique you have, let me tell you, like I said, it's an underrated type of style that a lot of drummers don't cling on to. I think it's because you don't have much videos out there. Because if you naturally had videos out there and people was posting them or reposting them like how I do, then people would have sit back and, because actually I have a drummer's page that I really don't discuss that page with nobody because they don't know it's me running it. But it's a page called Caribbean Drummers on Instagram. And basically what I started doing is taking drummers from all around the Caribbean and repost them. And then other drummers just tag in and say, wow, nice, good, you know, things like that.
Let me see. I wonder if I can send this from me. It might not go because of the size of it. WhatsApp won't allow you to send nothing.
Yeah, you could, you know. Because just last night when I interviewed Gregory, I sent her about an hour and a half of audio on WhatsApp. I did it. But the thing is, you have to keep your screen on, because if your screen goes off, I think it will sleep. So you might have to change your settings, change your display settings on your phone to keep it on, forever. And then when your thing goes through, then you change your settings.
I checked my phone to see if I had your New York number in here, but it's not here. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you had given me your number too, but I lost it. But
okay.
It's on there, man. You had given it to me. You remember when I met you? You had played in Miami.
Florida.
Yeah, in Miami. Actually, I was going to school right next door. Yeah, and your guys had came and played.
I thought you were living there now.
Yeah, I was living there, but then I was living. You see, right where you were playing, I was living in that area, that very area. I lived there, and I went to school next door. Actually, that center where y'all played was actually part of this. It's not school owned, but when the school has the events, that's where they have it. The parties, they have it there.
So what you were studying for?
I was doing my bachelor's in music. Yeah, specifically jazz studies, because I study underneath a jazz trumpeter who played with Dizzy Gillespie and Count Basie. He's called Milton Mustafa, who died.